information, the kind of information you find here on the Money Man Report. Now, here's the Money Man. Here's Dan Frischberg.
Sal Monastery, thank you very much. Welcome everybody to the Money Man Report. How you doing today? So here we are, we're helping people, helping the world to avoid making mistakes as we transmit here high atop the 880 The Biz building, locally here in beautiful South Florida. You can also find us worldwide on that 880 The Biz app and also on iHeartRadio. So you can be anywhere on the planet. You can be sipping a super tasty Tuscan wine in Positano, Italy, or you can be working on your tan in the Caribbean, and you can still hear the show. We live in America, right? We are so blessed. We live in America where we're supposed to have all the opportunity in the world to get rich and have the American dream, yet socialism is rising in popularity, and millions of people right now are in their cars, they're at the office, they're listening to the show, while they're thinking that their lives are difficult, and they're wondering why the American dream doesn't seem to be coming as true for them as they thought it would. Well, I'm going to tell you something that you can participate in that is a great business that you can take part in while you're working at your own job, at your own office, running your own company, and potentially it can make your American dream come true the way you want it to. And this business, it's beautiful because it's a subscription-based service business where it has users all over the planet. So all of these people are writing checks to this company on a recurring basis, which is the beautiful part. And as a partial owner in that company, you can have the world sending you checks too. But, right, in order to make the money to help us afford the things that we want to have in our life, and maybe that's sending our kids to a better summer camp this summer, maybe it's a longer vacation, maybe it's as simple as getting some new ceiling fans and window treatments, but whatever it is, in order to have these things, we have to be smarter than the average person, right? We have to be smarter than the average investor, which you would think would be pretty easy to do in a stock market that's been going up for 200 years, yet 95% of people, either in the short term or the longer term, are losing money here. Most people just, they either don't understand it or they just don't get it. How simple it is simply to get a good deal on all these companies.
Can you help them out?
It is making more money, giving the world what they want
John?
and what they need. Yes.
Oh, I can hear you better now. It was cutting out for a bit.
And just hold on to them.
Thank you.
Just hold on to these companies. Now, here is the only caveat. The only caveat is the only time not to hold on to these companies is in a bear market, but our stock market x-ray is telling us that that is at least the next 4 to 6 months away. So instead of holding on to great companies in a bull market, which we are in, I don't care what the pundits on television say, most people are overtrading right now. Most people are trying to time every little price movement. Most people are trying to somehow guess what a billion other people are going to do and somehow react to a government report that comes out. So many people are trying to do all this trend trading in and out because that's what they learned at their local trading school. And yeah, sure, these folks, they're going to get the timing right a couple times. Even a broken clock is right twice a day. But most people, they get this guessing game, this short-term guessing game wrong, and they wind up losing a bunch of money, and then they've given the rest of their money away to their online broker in the form of all the commissions that they're paying in order to do these trades. So in a bull market, again, which we are in, when we simply buy and hold these great companies that are giving the world what it wants and what it needs, they're making more and more money, and maybe it's a cure or a treatment for cancer. Maybe it's the smartphone that you use. Maybe it's the rockets that protect the free world by shooting missiles out of the sky, and every free country that can afford these rockets, they're going to buy them. Even the free countries that can't afford to buy them, countries probably like the United States, are going to buy them for them. So when we simply just concentrate and help the world get more of what it wants and what it needs, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out. What happens? It frees up so much of our time that we used to spend trying to time every little price movement up and down, every little vibration in the market. People, we're no longer watching the financial news 23 and a half hours of money, and that's when your self-confidence really starts to boost. So here is that company that can literally write you checks. Adobe. And that ticker is ADBE. Please, just because I mention it here, don't run out and buy it. All I'm asking is that you take some notes and then go do. So,
Hey, John, you're cutting out.
well, I can't do anything about it, so sorry. But here we are with
Just
Adobe,
repeat
right?
what you
They
said
make
about
that
Adobe.
computer software applications, like Adobe Acrobat and Adobe Photoshop, Adobe Reader, which millions and millions of people
I use it.
already use it. Absolutely, already using it in everyday life. So there are all these. They have all these subscription services. So here's Adobe, right? Effectively writing its owners checks every day for all of these subscription renewals that they're getting. And I like Adobe for another reason also, because they are moving beyond their already successful software subscription service to the individuals like you and I. They are increasing their market opportunity and their market share here by getting involved into the needs and the wants of organizations, of businesses, right? Not just the individual users like you and I. So a modern business pretty much has to run on some sort of Adobe platform. And if I take Adobe's conservative earnings, we've been bombarded by all of these news stories lately. The companies are coming out and they're telling the world how many widgets they made in the last quarter and how many they sold and all the money they made. If I take Adobe's conservative earnings and some of their growth estimates and I do a simple calculation, I'm saying conservatively here, and I could be wrong, right, that Adobe right now, currently trading at about $260 a share, this could be a $500 company in disguise here that people don't see. I think Adobe has the potential to double here in the next couple years. And with that said,
I think you're right. I agree with you on that.
With that,
they've been around for a long time, so their track record is there. They're not going anywhere. They pretty much dominate the market. I need to use them all the time. But I just downloaded an app where you can scan your receipts and it turns it into a PDF. I mean, I know there's other apps like that, but this one is just, the interface is more user-friendly, and if you're already using Adobe products, then it just fits right in. It's great. It's tax season, so, I just got it, and I'm loving it.
And I do think we could potentially have up to almost another 2 years here. There will always be ups and downs, but I think we could have another 2 years here or so of bull market, because that presidential election, it isn't until next year in November, and all those folks, what do they want to do? They want to get reelected. So I really don't think, if they have anything to do with it, and if they're smart, I really don't think in the next year and a half, they're going to push the economy or the market into recession, into a bear market, which is great for us. You've already heard her voice, ladies and gentlemen. Jai Koch will join us right after this really short break. Stay tuned. You won't even have time to go to the refrigerator. This break is so short. More Money Man Report right after this. Don't touch the dial.
880 The Biz, where money talks.
Here's how to get a steady flow of customers without spending a fortune. Everybody is trying to use social media, and all I hear are complaints. Too crowded, too expensive, just not working like it used to. Networking groups are great, but the good ones have been filled up for years. Plus, they meet every week, are run by drill sergeants, and you couldn't join if you wanted to because the seat for your profession is already filled. I'm John Crocker for the Money Man Report.
Right now we're
the
in a commercial
fastest
break.
growing,
Usually
most
what I do
effective,
is
and
I
sought-after networking
turn
group
it
in
off,
South Florida, Primetime Business
because,
Network,
sometimes we're
has a new
talking
group
and,
with openings in your
whatever,
profession.
it seems like it's
Real
dead
estate,
every time.
insurance,
But today I
construction,
decided to
lawyers,
just live
accountants.
stream all
Those
the way
spaces
through,
are
even
always
during the
filled, but our
commercial
brand new
breaks.
Weston chapter has
They're
openings
not today,
in
they're
your
not that long.
profession
I just
right
wanna
now.
thank you guys
Folks,
for all
when
the
the seats are
support and
gone,
the feedback
they're
that you've been
gone.
giving me.
Go to
I'm really
www.themoneyman.com
enjoying
right
this
now to
radio,
apply.
and,
That's
everybody has
themoneyman.com.
been so
great and all the comments and support. And
880
listening.
The Biz,
So I appreciate
where
it.
money
Thank
talks.
You. I love you guys. And my childhood
You're
bestie
tuned in to the
is
Money
watching.
Man Report
I see
with your
you.
host, TV and radio money man, Dan Frischberg. For more information about everything we're talking about, go to themoneyman.com right now. That's themoneyman.com.
So this is like the perfect thing for me.
Rock and roll. Welcome back to the Money Man Report. How you doing? I'm John Crocker. So here's the woman that turns stay-at-home moms into real estate investors and real estate investors into real estate tycoons. Jai Koch, welcome to the Money Man Report.
Thank you, John. Thanks for that great intro. I always appreciate it. Love
Absolutely.
being here.
So, Jai, not even Amazon wants to have an office in New York now.
Yeah, that was big news. We were talking about that yesterday. So, yeah, as many people may have known, they ditched that, and I feel sorry for those buyers who bought inflated property prices. Yeah, but hey, you know what's going to happen, and you know how I feel about Nashville. So now Nashville is going to probably just be the headquarter now, the bigger one. It wasn't supposed to be, but maybe that's what's going to happen.
They're coming out of New York. New York is a boiling pot of socialism where the answer to every problem is, just tax people more. It's driving people out of the state entirely. So it's no surprise these folks are driving on 95 South, cutting each other off on the highway, trying to drive down to Florida 5 seconds faster so they can take advantage of our beautiful weather, our no state income tax, our business-friendly environment. Thank you, Governor, now Senator Rick Scott. But what's the problem, Jai, with this influx of people here coming into Florida and probably Texas, another great state?
Well, the problem is that they're coming down here to steal all of our deals. So
Steal it.
they're they're coming down here, and most of them are wealthy. So now it was already a pretty competitive market, right? So it's getting more and more crowded now, and now we have to compete with, and I'm seeing it. I mean, I'm working with buyers and that are from high tax state California and New York, and I've had to, I've dealt with a lot of people trying to buy my property that are from New York. So it's a real thing. I mean, you see the plates on the street, and it doesn't hurt that we have this great weather. So it's really a no-brainer for these people, right?
I mean, the weather is one of the reasons why I originally moved down here myself 13 years ago, Can't help it.
So this problem is affecting us because now, like I said, we have to compete with more buyers, with more money. And it's not so much the South Americans anymore. We're fighting with, these people coming in droves from, these high tax states, like you mentioned. But the main factor is the reason why it's happening now, because we've always been a no-income tax state here, so this is not like it's new. But what's happening is with the tax deduction cap now, so these people can't, I think it's $10,000 now, so, now they have to find...
Well, but explain what that is.
So what it is there used to be, previously there was no limit on the amount of state and local taxes, you could try to deduct. Obviously they have to be legal deductions, but you could, living in these states, you could deduct, make those deductions, and there wasn't a limit. But now there's a cap of $10,000, which is not that much. And if you're, high net worth individual and you have a lot of properties,
if you're in a super high tax state like New York.
Right. Yeah, that's what we're talking about, because those are the main people that are coming. So it's a high tax state, and this was the one thing that they could count on, and now they can't count on it anymore.
So, Jai, let's get into the solution of the problem right after this break. I'm John Crocker, right here with
Sounds good to me.
expert Jai Koch, and we'll be back after this really short break. Don't touch the dial, because there's nothing on that other station.
Awesome.
880 The Biz, where money talks.
Damage from Hurricane Irma? It's not too late. Underpaid on a claim? It's not too late. Insurance company says damages didn't exceed the deductible? We can help. It's never too late to call Pinecrest Adjusters. Let the experts at Pinecrest Adjusters give you a free consultation and fair settlement. No recovery? No fee. Absolutely. Call today for your free inspection. 305-978-3480. 305-978-3480. That's 305-978-3480. Ceiling stains, cracked roof tiles, water damaged floors, and more? Call Pinecrest Adjusters to schedule your free consultation. 305-978-3480. 305-978-3480. That's 305-978-3480. Or visit online at pinecrestadjusters.net. pinecrestadjusters.net.
Hey, Dan Frischberg
We're going to
here.
be talking
For 25
about
years, I've personally
the
been
new
driving
tax
great
reform
cars,
and
and nobody
how it's
minds that I
affecting
pay
our
30 to
market here.
50% less. I get the same factory
And all
warranty
these New
and
Yorkers
invest
coming
an
down
extra
and getting
30
in our
grand
way.
in whatever I want. Everybody drives the best car they can afford, and superficial as it is, people judge your success by your car. If you got a gorgeous new Mercedes convertible for the price of a Buick, that's news, because that car is equally beautiful and impressive, whether you paid 50 grand or 30. Auto Auction Advisors gets you the exact car you want for thousands less. Completely inspected, great financing, and no risk, because you always get a 14-day test drive. Give it back for any reason at all or no reason. Total refund with no baloney. Call 954-371-6920 or read about it at autoauctionadvisors.com. 954-371-6920.
880 The Biz, where money talks.
You're tuned in to the Money Man Report with your host, TV and radio money man, Dan Frischberg. For more information about everything we're talking about, go to themoneyman.com right now. That's themoneyman.com.
Thanks for staying with us. Welcome back to the Money Man Report. We're here with Jai Koch, our real estate investment expert, and she's just simply helping our listeners to achieve their own definition of the American dream. As we keep having her back on the show because our listeners are telling us that they love her so much. So here she is, Jai Koch. Welcome back to the Money Man Report.
All right, so let's dig in here. So now that we know that we're in this, ultra competitive market, you are probably wondering, so what can we do about it? Well, I mean, I have addressed this before, but I'm going to just, tell you now that you really have to be able to fight and you have to take steps. It's all about preparation. I've mentioned that before, but, this is true in anything that you do. But you have to, before you even find a property that you want to buy, you need to first know, and this may seem like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised how many people really don't think that you need to know how much you can afford to spend. It's not the same as how much you actually want to buy, because sometimes those don't line up. You need to find out how much you qualify to borrow, if you're borrowing, which I think most people are. So you need to talk to a lender, and you need to talk to a few lenders, because even if you get qualified and you know how much you can buy, depending on what type of real estate you're investing in, each bank has, their portfolios and what they feel like investing in at that moment. One may be looking for multifamily, one may be looking for commercial, industrial. So, you really need to find that out early on, because you want to eliminate any who aren't going to, fund your deal. So this is all stuff that can be done in advance, but, you need to do it so that when you do find the property that you want, you can pounce on it, and get it. So that's first. And then after you've taken care of that, and so you know what you can buy and how much you can buy and all that good stuff, you start looking for properties. But when you find a property that you like, you need to be prepared to give them an offer on the spot, because this happens all the time. I mean, I've done it and I've gotten the deals. You come in, you're touring the property and you have a signed contract prepared with your proof of funds and any approval, letters from a bank that you need, and you give it to them, and they will be, impressed, and it shows that you're not playing around and you want it. And I think most of the times I've done it, I've gotten it, so that works. But
yeah, Jai, maybe share a story with us about either yourself or somebody that you helped in this exact situation.
Yeah, I'll give you a story, but I just want to tell you, this may shock you, and it's not for everyone, but I have bought several properties sight unseen, like never physically seen the property, and bought it and never regretted it, never looked back. I've done it at least 3 times. But I'll give you a real life story here, which was great because I was working with a veteran, and I have a soft spot for veterans because my dad was one, and I find it so unfortunate that in our marketplace a lot of times the VA loans don't get the attention that they should, and a lot of times sellers or their agents just don't want to deal with it because they think it's too much paperwork or it takes longer, which it's not really true. It's a great loan. But I was working with a veteran buyer, and in this price range where there's a lot of competition because it's in the $300,000 price range, so there's a lot of people because that's the most affordable housing that we have pretty much. And I needed to get him this home. I mean, I needed to do it. So this was a house that you had to see it in order to place an offer. They weren't going to allow you to just send an offer sight unseen. So the first day that it was being shown, we showed up, offer in hand, presented, everything, all the documents in a nice, folder that I have. You just want to, any little bells and whistles you can, add to it. And I walked over to the agent and I handed it to him. And we had also used some, I don't know how we figured out that the seller was also a veteran, so we played that card. And he got the house, and he's very happy, and it made my day, being able to use, help a veteran get into a home with these loans that were intended to him. But I use the same tactics that I do as if, it was an investment. Everything, we were ready, and we showed that, and we went like $1,000 over asking price, which we later got back, as, in credits. So we didn't pay, over asking, and the house appraised for much more. So,
Jai, I know you're doing this for yourself, but do you also help other people do it?
Yeah, I do. Well, this is a story for someone else. I help that veteran, but I work with buyers and
how
sellers.
We do have to go. How can people get in touch with you, Jai?
So they can give me a call, 305-984-6966, or you can check out my website, www.realtorinmiami.com.
Jai Koch, thank you so much. This is the end of the Money Man Report.
Already?
Stay tuned. Susanna Baker right up here with our talk. We'll see you on Monday.
Where money talks.
Put yourself in this situation. You go to wake up your child for school, and they're gone.
All right,
you can't
that's
find
a
them
wrap.
anywhere.
It's
It's
a short
another
show
viral
today 'cause we
challenge
have
that kids
Art
are doing
Talk
for
coming up at
15 minutes of
10:30.
social media
Thanks
fame.
for watching.
Kim Commander with your
Hi,
Friday
Peter.
Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by Simply Safe,
All right.
the most innovative and comprehensive